Fun. That was fun Saturday night. We've got a lot to talk about. I want to put out a bolo, Rico. You do BOGOs, I do bolos.
Okay.
We got to put a bolo out on all the Jared Goff slandering, Hendon Hooker pandering morons who I had to deal with last week. Not one, not two, not three, not four. 5 touchdowns on your ass Saturday night. Yeah. And it was weird, Rico, because you and I both know a guy who's not a Goff guy. Oh, he's a big celebrity. He's a big guy. And he got awfully quiet on Saturday night. All the pithy little texts I was getting, it was weird. They dissipated once the touchdown started hitting the board.
Yeah,
a point where I went, are you okay, man? You all right?
He's the other half of Cash a Ticket, folks.
Oh, no. I'm talking about someone who doesn't just have a big head.
Oh.
I'm talking about someone who's a gigantic human.
Oh.
So here's my point. Can we breathe? Like, we all enjoyed Saturday. There's not a Lions fan who didn't. I don't care what your agenda is. I don't care if you don't like Jared Goff. Rico, can we just breathe now? That was a virtuoso performance. Everything clicked. O-line was back. They moved it. Jahmyr Gibbs, 100 yards, 10, 11 carries. Goff looked great. Defense was hyper-aggressive. Talk to me, Rico. Can we breathe? And can we now move forward as a community? Or do you still need more? Tell me.
I think most people still need more. Mike, you should be able to breathe, because here's the thing. Just talking with Kenny before the show. Following the Lions for many, many decades, I don't think I've ever seen a team play that complete of a game ever in Detroit, in Pontiac, anywhere in the state of Michigan, professional team. That almost looked like a college beatdown, the way that they played the Denver Broncos. Denver was in the game for maybe that first drive, and then after that, turn off the lights. It was over. But to some people, still not enough. It's not. Some people.
Well, I want to hear from people.
Yeah, you're still going to get the Jared Goff people, Mike, because here's something that I've thought about. Because we've said, you know what, Jared Goff needs to win that playoff game. You know who we never asked that for? Matthew Stafford. We never did that for him. But for Goff, that tells me you really don't want him, because you keep moving the goalpost to something that you think he can't do. So if he wins that playoff game, well, let me see him win a Super Bowl. Let me see him win an NFC championship. Then we can resign him.
I think it's simple. You have to come to grips with the following. This team is at their best when they can allow Jared Goff to have things set up for him in the way that San Francisco sets up Brock Purdy. That's not a shot. It's a reality check for some of you. San Francisco cannot win with Brock Purdy throwing it 40 times. Can't. San Francisco can't win when Brock Purdy has to scramble all over the place. They can't win when they can't allow him, like, Brock, here's the throw. Here's what we've set up by the fact that we're pounding the rock, by the fact that you have time, by the fact we've identified the coverage. Yeah, Jared Goff is one of the 90% of quarterbacks who has to have things set up for him. So if your desire to find one of the 10%, i.e. the 4 or 5 guys in football who can just zippity-doo-dah all day long and get it done, then you're not going to have any fun. But what you saw Saturday night is this team at their best. And at their best, they can beat 90% of the teams in this league. I still don't think at your best you're beating Dallas. You can laugh, but yesterday's one game, and it was a league game. You're not beating Dallas. You're not beating San Francisco. Philly you could get, because I'll tell you, more on that in a football today later. Yeah. They're falling apart. But, Rico, let's throw the number out. And if Saturday didn't calm you down, tell me what it's going to take for you to calm down. Maybe it's a win this Sunday. Got to go to Minnesota. Maybe it's, I don't know what it could be from a player standpoint. Everybody showed out. And by the way, Rico, on behalf of you, I'd like to say that this radio show would like to say thank you to Jameson Williams for his best game as a pro. Yeah. He was into it, as into the flow, getting snaps, not just gimmicks, catching footballs, making plays. Welcome to the NFL, Jameson Williams. Nice to have, yes, Yes.
He was a part of the offense. He wasn't an afterthought. He wasn't we should probably throw something to number 9 because everybody else has gotten something to eat. No, he actually was a part of this offense. It was fun to watch. Everything was clicking, and Denver had no answer for anything. I was shocked that they scored the final touchdown. I thought maybe they would either take a knee or kick a field goal, but nah. Campbell had something to prove because he saw this team is playing so. I want to see what else we can do. I want to see, because you guys need to see, not you, the people, but I think the players, you need to see yourselves score. You need to see yourselves dominate so that when I tell you you haven't played your best game yet, this is what I mean. Today, Saturday, they played their best game.
100%. So let's react to it. And again, guys, if you don't like your quarterback or you want a different one, you can do whatever you want to do. I have never sat here and told you that this guy is Pat Mahomes. He's not. But be very careful, because you know what I watched all weekend long? Teams who don't have quarterbacks. Teams that would walk over hot coals to get them. I mean, be careful. And as we sit here right now, do I believe he can win a playoff game? Of course I do. I've always believed that. If they don't play complementary football, they, not Jared Goff, they as a team won't win a playoff game. It's all or nothing with the Lions, Rico. That's where I have found myself. It's all or nothing. It all works, or they're going nowhere. Mm-hmm. They're not a team that is good enough in my mind. Like, look, we talked about it. If the defense wasn't going to perform, then it was all on Goff and all on this offense, and they got to win a bunch of shootouts, right? Mm-hmm. It's clear that they're not that team, right?
It is, and it's funny that you said, you talked about the defense, because the defense showed you got to either bring that all-out blitz if you want to get the pressure, or you're going to sit and get picked apart.
But I loved it. What have I asked of Aaron Glenn? Get creative. They were bringing safeties, corners, backers, stunts. They did it all.
I mean, at one point,
it was like a kitchen sink.
Yes. I'm like, okay, did you just blitz 8 people? Wow. Risky, but it was working.
Right. So I'd love to hear from people on it. But what I just would like to do is this. Let's get to the end of the season before we even have to hear the words Hendon and Hooker in the same sentence. Let's get to the end of the season before we go contract mode. I understand they played bad football. I talked about Saturday night. Got to be a bounce-back game. That's exactly what that was. No different than we talked about last week. How important that game was for Dallas and for Dak. And as a franchise, how they had to take the Eagles out. And they did it. Mm-hmm. Like, at a certain point, you're not going to get the A-plus game every week. And I know if they go to Minnesota and lose, we're going to be right back to square one. I'm just making a point. Are you comfortable now? Can you enjoy your Christmas?
Oh, you should.
Or does more need to happen? Let's talk about it.
248-539-9797. I don't even think that you should be able to enjoy your Christmas, because tonight you could be in the playoffs, and by Christmas you could have the 3 seed locked up, meaning that's the lowest that you could go. Home playoff game, but it may move up to 2. So, yeah, you should be happy, because this is something that we've been waiting, seems like a decade for, Mike. And unlike previous years, unlike last year where you needed somebody else to help you cut your grass, you're cutting your own grass. You don't need any help from any team. You don't have to scoreboard watch. You only have to focus on your game, win your game, keep winning your games, right, and you are going to solidify your spot in the playoffs. Tonight, you could get that automatic playoff berth. But by Christmas Day, you just handed out Detroit a gigantic gift. You get a first-round playoff game right here.
And like tonight, much like Jalen Hurts flew separate from the team, I'm separate from Rico, because everybody's sick. Like tonight's tonight. And oh, by the way, Johnny Moo-Moos is calling the defense. Matt Patricia's your defensive coordinator tonight. Johnny Moo-Moos is back. Come on. You know it's hot. Yeah, you know it's hot when Matt Patricia's called in to call plays. Enjoy. So look, 248-539-90. Johnny Moo-Moos. 248-539-9797. Give me the takeaways from Saturday night. And I'm being a smart ass about the Goff stuff because it's Rico, I just get frustrated. Like, I understand he's not perfect, but take it from a guy who doesn't have a quarterback. Be careful what you wish for.
Or, Mike, take it from a guy who, hey, you know what? He's the ultimate system quarterback. But when the system works and it fits, man, you ride that thing. And
guess what? You're going to win a Super Bowl with a system quarterback.
He may win the MVP as a system quarterback.
Right. Are you going to care? No. You're going to get what you want. But if I take Brock Purdy and another team goes, oh, my God, he's magical, and they trade for him, Brock Purdy would suck. Sometimes you have the right guy at the right time with the right people, and it works. Mm-hmm. It's like life. Timing is everything.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, side note, Purdy goes out the game, Sam Darnold comes in, and the offense was not the same. And I'm sitting there saying, oh, my God, I hope they get Brock Purdy back in the game. I found myself saying that. But, yes, correct. Because he works. The passes were off. Like, Kittle kept dropping passes because he was used to Purdy. That game Saturday showed you exactly what you could get from Jared Goff. It showed you how he knows his team and he knows the plays. This is the system that's going to work for him. Now, what happens when Ben Johnson leaves? I don't know. But right here, right now, I think that he's still good enough that no matter who the OC is, they can keep this thing rolling.
And look, early in the game, we can just get it out of the way. Did he miss? Did he underthrow J-Mo? He did. But I want you to remember something when you call in with that. I know what you're going to do, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remind you, do you know what offense leads the league in completions of more than 20 yards? For all the throw it deep guy, which is the football equivalent of shoot the puck guy, do you know who leads the league in passes of 20 yards or more? The Detroit Lions. Jared Goff is the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. You're never going to see the 50-yard moonballs. Get over it.
So you don't get to see Lamar Jackson?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying. It's like, come on. Oh, and by the way, league leader in runs of over 20 yards, it's not McCaffrey.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 10 runs of 20 or more yards. McCaffrey has 8. It's okay to feel good at the week of Christmas, guys. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, I would have lost that bet.
What's up, buddy?
I said I would have lost that bet had you asked me, who leads the receiver?
I know.
Yeah, I was like, Christian McCaffrey. Nope.
It's crazy, but it's true. Like, it's just one of those things. You can't argue with it. 248-539-9797. We'll get to the callers. 4 o'clock, power stat alert. When I'm out sick with limited nostril usage, you get power stats. I'm pretty sure Troy Weaver unintentionally, intentionally, unintentionally designed a team that can't win in today's NBA. That the actual byproduct of this man's work is I have a power stat. We'll get to it later. 97.1.